Some people are worked up this morning over the new cost of their workout. Chip Reid is at a gym in Washington. That's where lawmakers recently passed a tax that could leave some people, well, sitting on the couch. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning. Washington, D.C. was recently ranked the healthiest city in America, so people here tend to take their exercise very seriously. But the D.C. City Council recently voted to impose a tax on exercise, and that has people here fighting mad.
Inhale, up dog, and exhale to downward facing dog.
Exercise enthusiasts call it the D.C. yoga tax or the tax on wellness. It would apply D.C.'s 5.75% sales tax to services, including gym and yoga studio memberships. For gym goers like Lindsay Pulliam, frustrations are pushed to the max.
It's something we're going out of our way to do to have a healthy lifestyle, and it's discouraging to know that it's going to be taxed on top of what's already a taxing exercise.
Ed Lazier with the D.C. Fiscal Policy Institute says more Americans are now paying for services like exercise classes, and the D.C. sales tax needs to evolve.
To keep the sales tax rate as low as possible while still generating the revenue that we need to pay for schools and public safety, the best thing is for it to apply as broadly as possible.
D.C. is not alone. He says 22 states include health clubs in their sales taxes.
The idea that people will stop working out because they have to pay $3 a month more on their gym membership, it just doesn't make sense.
Ori Gorfine, Chief Operating Officer of Balance Gym, disagrees.
This industry is very price sensitive.
So $5 or $10 actually makes a difference to people.
$5 or $10 makes a difference to people. I see it every day. I've been operating gyms now for almost a decade. I can tell you that increasing by 5.75% will have an impact on retention, and it will have an impact on sales.
Left hand down.
And it's enough to get the health crowd out in force. Yoga enthusiasts launched a Zen protest outside the D.C. Council building.
To be subject to sales tax.
And they dogged a recent meeting of the D.C. City Council. Some council members made a last-minute appeal against the tax.
So to put a tax on fitness is going to hurt business. But more importantly than that, it's making us a joke.
The council voted in favor of the tax, but the gym crowd is still pushing back against what they say is an unfair weight on their shoulders.
DC is one of the most heavily taxed cities in America, and we don't need to cherry pick additional services to tax and put additional burdens on people who are just simply trying to get fit.
Now, if all those protests don't convince the D.C. City Council to back down, this tax will take effect on January 1st. Margaret?
Chip, I'm impressed by the person doing pull-ups behind you. I would have gotten stuck halfway.
Yeah, I was doing that earlier.
Sure.
They're all in good shape. But Chip, whose idea was this? It makes no sense that you're going to be penalized because you want to stay in shape. I don't get it.
Well, there was a D.C. commission that was put together to put together a new tax package, and they say that because services are where people are spending their money now, you need to spread out the tax across services, and they picked this as one of the ones to include in that package.
All right, Chip, thank you.